Hello everyone, Miss Elizabeth here for First Congregational Church of Muskegon confirmation class. And today for our video lesson, we're beginning Unit 4, the unit in our curriculum about how what we believe in our hearts shows in how we behave towards one another. Our lesson today is about sharing. And we're continuing this unit in the Progressive Christianity curriculum that First Congregational Church has purchased, although we do not own the copyright to this material. When we share, our awareness grows beyond our little selves to a broader reality. Sharing is a universal principle that is found expressed throughout literature for all ages. The act of sharing is basic to and so important for our spiritual growth. Our affirmation is, "When I share, happiness grows." Here's some quotes I want to share. From the Bible, the book of Matthew, chapter 6, verses 2 through 4. "So, whenever you give alms, do not sound a trumpet before you, as the hypocrites do in the synagogues and in the streets, so that they may be praised by others. Truly, I tell you, they have received their reward. But when you give alms, do not let your left hand know what your right hand is doing, so that your alms may be done in secret, and your Creator, who sees in secret, will reward you." And from author Khalil Gibran, "And there are those who give and know not pain in giving, nor do they seek joy, nor give with mindfulness of virtue. They give, as in yonder valley, the myrtle breathes its fragrance into space. Through the hands such as these, God speaks, and from behind their eyes, he smiles upon the earth." The author Charles Dickens said, "No one is useless in this world who lightens the burdens of another." And from the Bible, the book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 9, verses 6 and 7. "The point is this: the one who sows sparingly will also reap sparingly, and the one who sows bountifully will also reap bountifully. Each of you must give as you have made up your mind, not reluctantly or under compulsion, for God loves a cheerful giver." And from Zain Hashmi, in the book A Blessed Olive Tree, A Spiritual Journey in 20 Short Stories, comes this quote: "Happiness comes from helping others, by being with others, and by sharing, even if it's only a smile." And Frances Hodgson Burnett, in A Little Princess, wrote, "If nature has made you for a giver, your hands are born open. And so is your heart. And though there may be times when your hands are empty, your heart is always full, and you can give things out of that. Warm things, kind things, sweet things. help and comfort and laughter. And sometimes gay, kind laughter is the best help of all. And former President William J. Clinton said, "We cannot build our own future without helping others to build theirs." Sharing is caring. Sharing what we have is a simple idea, but it's not always easy to carry out. What kind of gifts do you have? Are they tangible gifts, such as an item you can buy or make? Or is it less tangible, such as your time, a listening ear, a kind word, a smile, or a hug? What do you have that is waiting to be given? Have you ever heard the phrase, share and share alike? That phrase has been around for more than 300 years. Daniel Defoe used it in his novel Robinson Crusoe in 1719 to describe sharing food rations with the men in his crew in equal portions. A Bible story that demonstrates this idea of sharing without the expectation of repayment or praise is the story of the loaves and fishes, or feeding the 5,000. I suggest that you take some time to reread it this week with fresh eyes. How do you think the act of sharing was multiplied over and over, enough to feed over 5,000 people? You can find this story in the book of John, chapter 6, verses 1 through 14. Another story that I grew up with talks about give and take. My twin sister and I were given this book, Exactly Alike, by Evelyn Ness. In the book, Big Sister Elizabeth desperately wants to know the names of her nearly identical quadruplet younger brothers. She notices small differences, but still doesn't know which name goes with each brother. She gives them her most precious toys and asks for their names in return. But the boys take the toys without telling her their names. Then she realizes that she had treated it like give and get. She realized now that give meant giving without asking for something in return, and take really meant to accept. If you've been following these lessons this year, you know that I try to feature a commencement speech that connects with the theme of the lesson. A portion of what Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie said in her commencement speech to Wellesley's graduating class of 2015 puts another perspective on give and take. She said, "We cannot always bend the world into the shapes we want, but we can try. We can make a concerted and real and true effort. And you are privileged that, because of your education here, you have already been given many of the tools that you will need to try. Always just try, because you never know." And so, as you graduate, as you deal with your excitement and your doubts today, I urge you to try and create the world you want to live in. Minister to the world in a way that can change it. Minister radically in a real, active, practical, get your hands dirty kind of way. And finally, I would like to end with a final note on the most important thing in the world: love. Now, girls are often raised to see love as only as giving. Women are praised for their love when that love is an act of giving. But to love is to give and to take. Please love by giving and by taking. Give and be given. If you are only giving and not taking, you'll know. You'll know from that small and true voice inside you that we females are often, so often, socialized to silence. Don't silence that voice. Dare to take. I hope you will take the time to listen to Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie's entire speech. I will put a link to the YouTube video of her speech in the description section for this video lesson. And until next time, thank you for joining us. See you next time.